So when we got Berkshire Hathaway's latest 13F filing from the SEC, we saw that Buffett is still a net seller of stocks. Berkshire bought or added to 5 different stock positions, and 3 of those were home builders. That surprised a lot of people. I was kind of surprised by that. I mean, Tyler, you and I have been talking about how home builders are a great deal for a while. I didn't think Buffett was going to listen to us, but it appears that he did. So it's not hard to see why that home builders are not only doing well, but Buffett likes them right now. The average home selling price is up by about 40% from 2019 levels. And it's a great environment for home builders because there's almost no existing home inventory on the market. It's really kind of gravitated people towards home builders. New homes represent roughly 32% of active listings right now. That's up from a
That's a
historical
record.
that
That's a
is a
record.
record. That's up from a historical average of 13%. So it's a lot of the market. And Buffett apparently wants to get in on this trend. So, Tyler, what do you think of these stocks? Do you have a favorite? Because all 3 look pretty strong business wise.
Sure. Well, first, I'm going to guess that if we convinced someone, we probably convinced Todd or Ted, because I'm guessing based on the size, this was a lieutenant pick and not necessarily Warren Buffett. And the other thing I would say too is that it's not like home building is something that uh, Berkshire Hathaway is completely unfamiliar with. I mean, there are loads of uh, building construction companies owned in the operating portfolio, as well as Clayton Homes, which is a prefabricated housing manufacturer. So this is, pretty familiar territory for Berkshire Hathaway to begin with. And so, I look at this and say they're kind of playing into what they know and how to value it. And certainly, as you said, like with high interest rates and existing home sales just seizing up, the only available housing inventory is coming from new construction. And with that in mind, like we haven't seen the declines in prices you would expect with such high interest rates relative to what we had a couple of years ago. So if we kind of think about the 3 of them that they did, I have a separate take on why they may have picked those, but we can discuss that later. But I think of the 3, DR Horton, Lennar, and NVR, you know, of those 3, you kind of almost have to go chalk and say NVR. They are by far and away the best home builder in terms of an operator there is out there. Not just in terms of like building homes, but just in total in terms of returns for investors. I think of the businesses in this industry, they have been one that has been the most acutely aware of shareholder value. Don't do a lot of empire expanding, just kind of replenish the inventory as they see fit. They're very good at underwriting their business. They don't spend a lot of time trying to impress investors with fancy investor presentations, and they buy back loads of stock. They've been one of those companies that just has habitually bought back its stock, and as a result, it's been one of the best returning businesses of the past several decades. It is priced to a significant premium to the rest of the home builder industry at 13 times earnings, but it is something that it has earned relative to the home builder industry.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I can make a solid argument for any of the 3. I'm somewhat biased to DR Horton because I'm standing in a DR Horton house right now. But and not only that, DR Horton actually had the strongest numbers in the second quarter in terms of growth. Their new orders were up 37% year over year. That was better than the other 2. DR Horton and Lennar are by far the cheaper of the 2. They're trading at roughly 9 times forward earnings compared to NVR, which is at about 14 times earnings. But you're right, NVR is a master capital allocator. They've really shown that over the course of their roughly 30 years in their current form as a publicly traded company. And shareholder returns have been fantastic. You're getting what you pay for with that premium. I have to agree that NVR is probably my favorite of the 3, with DR Horton as a close second, just because their recent numbers look very impressive. Once again, thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to click subscribe if you don't subscribe to my channel already. And as always, this video is sponsored by The Motley Fool. Be sure to visit www.fool.com/Frankel to receive the top 10 best stocks to buy now.